Okay, everyone, welcome to the Wednesday edition of the Market Wrap-Up with myself, Michael Nauss from StatsEdgeTrading. Just in case someone's new here, because we have been gaining a lot of new followers, and I appreciate everyone who's liking and retweeting and sharing and commenting and all that stuff for helping make this happen. But basically, every single day, we take a quick few minutes, we go over the what's going on kind of day to day in the market. Then on the weekend, we sit back, we do a really long-term look at what happened during the week. We make a list going into next week, all of that kind of fun stuff. So again, thank you for coming by. If you want to make sure that you never miss this, right? And make sure you're subscribing or following or wherever you are, but you can just go to StatsEdgeTrading.com or go to Substack and just search for Michael Nauss, and you will be able to sign up for the email list. It's for free. I don't sell the email list. I don't give it out to anyone. Basically just saying, hey, I want to make sure I get emailed this every day. And what I do is I attach the video. I attach the screenshot of everything we're going to go over, and then the screenshot to a bunch of things that we aren't going to go over, just to make sure that you can look at an individual chart. If I go over one too quickly or something, you can take a look at that. There is also a way you can just copy and paste my daily watch list directly into trade ideas and give that a shot. If you don't have trade ideas, give it a shot. It's what I use for my trading, my scanning, my alerting, all that kind of stuff. Use StatsEdge, one word, at checkout. Save yourself 15% off. There's also links in the Substack, and that helps out the channel. So with all that out of the way, as always, we're going to start with Bitcoin. It's getting a pretty decent move today, but I'm not getting too excited, right? So talked about yesterday this little kind of bear flag going on here. I said if we get some serious action under these lows, these two lows right here, I'd look to take a short. I never did that. It kind of spiked down and then just rocketed. If we go into, say, an hourly chart, you can see that's really just kind of almost a bad tick, right? That's why I really watch these things before I get too big in them. Now it's reversing. I'm not gonna think that this is gonna just reverse to highs, although it can, right? We've seen this many times, fall apart and bounce and fall apart and bounce. So who knows? Still a choppy mess to me. I'm looking to the downside because it's the only thing that I can really look at. Now I want to talk about cable, as the kids call it, also known as pound dollar. We are right at this highlighted area. You can see if we go back for a long time, huge level of support and resistance in through here. Talked about here how I took a trade off it. I talked about here how I took a trade off it. And then today, again, if we zoom into the lower time frame, which is just something someone requested, came back down, smacked it, and bounced. Now, I didn't take this trade because I'm not one just to buy things as they're selling off, but it does still show that there may be some buying in this area. So if we get the shorter term kind of bounce, a base or a pullback or something that looks more bullish to me, and then a move higher, I may get back in this one. This zone has been really, really profitable for me, so I want to make sure I am milking it until something changes, right? Then same with Aussie yen, right? Massively important level here on Aussie yen, putting in this kind of bear flag kind of in through here. I don't know what I just deleted there, but kind of bull flaggish, right? As it comes down to this area, we're seeing that momentum is unable to get oversold, right? All of these are above 30. So that's a bullish momentum regime as we're coming into support. So again, shorter term time frames, if we can get something that kind of looks like a nice bull flag or something to trade out of, I may take some Aussie yen as well. And just a little pat on the back and basically showing you why I focus so much on these anchored VWAPs when it comes to, let's do it right there, when it comes to everything, right? Shout out to Brian Shannon. Shout out to his book. You just Google Brian Shannon, AVWAP book. You'll be able to find it. But took the trade kind of right in here, told you guys about it as it was bouncing off of this. So not trying to catch it as it's falling down, but as it's bouncing off of this anchored VWAP that I saw it bounce off of here. Just an amazing trade. So still in that one, out a big chunk of it, obviously, because there's a massive run in silver, but holding a little bit with a break-even stop, just in case things get wild and we like challenge highs or something ridiculous like that. But massive, massive trade in silver. which is absolutely fantastic. So when I say, things are pulling back to anchored VWAPs, that's why I'm interested in them. So let's get into the S&P 500 right here. And we're basically still stuck in this range, right? We have the highs here, we have the lows here. We're bouncing up to it a little bit. We've got 10 minutes left till the end of the day, so I don't expect anything crazy to happen. If we break through it, fantastic. We have Jackson Hole, which is some Fed stuff that I don't really care about, but I know it's going to be a big deal on Friday. So I wouldn't be shocked if when we're hitting this resistance, we pull back tomorrow, just because, again, I wouldn't be shocked to see a little bit of floppy action going into that. I will definitely probably be mostly in cash, except swings that I'm really up on Friday, and kind of let everything sort out. As I mentioned, during this pullback, I got trailed stop on a whole bunch of great positions we bought when the market was around 420. So I'm totally fine. I'm kind of picking my shots, trying to make a few bucks here, a few bucks there, waiting for some sort of stability so that I can kind of really step on the gas again. So again, I'm fine having and raising a lot of cash in this environment. UNG is the only other ETF I was talking about because everything is up today. If we go and take a look, this is my ETF list that I watch in Trade Ideas. Again, Stats Edge, one word. Save yourself 15% off. You don't have it. Basically, green means good. Darker means up a lot. You can see only a little bit red, and it's kind of all the oil sectors in this area that are red here. Some are really setting up nicely, but basically UNG is the only one that's like really red, right? XOP and XLE are just kind of flat days, but UNG continues to make a lot of pain for people who are playing with that. So, okay, so I'm not going to go through everything. You can see there's a lot of things on the list here. This is what you can copy and paste in, but I like to go through anything that I took today. I did not take GTX. That just must have triggered after I put in the alert. So let's move that back down. Basically anything that I took today. So I took a little bro as it's breaking out here. It's a little insurance company, but this thing's just absolutely been super strong and a very tight base up here, and a little bit of cocoa because it seems to be closing above this range on this gross vitamin water. I kind of like the 13% short float on this one. I really like the tight base that it's breaking out of. That's kind of what I'm watching there. So I added a few to the list. One was that GTX, which moved on me right here. So GTX, again, just a nice tight base. We have motor vehicle body manufacturing out of Switzerland. I'm getting so good with flags now that I've learned that. Just kind of like an ascending triangle. I think if it breaks out here, maybe it takes a shot. It's a really slow mover, right? So again, I'm in the mode where I'm picking my shots. I'm just trying to make a buck here, a buck there, when the market's in a downtrend or chopping around, right? So the other thing is we just talked about these Baker Hughes. So a lot of these oil type companies are doing really, really well. Even though the actual asset is down today, you can see Baker Hughes is up. This is kind of a chart that I'm looking at. The top here is crack, which is not that crack, which is basically oil refiners and things like that versus oil. And you can see how oil, if you look right at kind of the tip of it, oil's pushed down a bit and crack is pushing up. So we may have this kind of spread between oil and the people that refine it. Other thing that I'm looking at here is Match.com, just a nice kind of bull flag right here. Pushes up and then has just been kind of pulling back into this prior zone right here. If you follow me for any length of time, I know I love when prior resistance like that starts to act as support. We have ALSN that is just really, really tight base at these highs, right? Just been chopping around forever. I took a shot at this before and I got out like 2 days later, almost break even because it wasn't moving. But that is another one that I've just added back to the list to see if it goes higher. So that with the GTX. So that is it for today. Thank you all for coming. Again, like, comment, share, all that kind of good stuff. And I will talk to you, not tomorrow, because I'm going to be on in Toronto doing Trader TV. Sometime on the weekend, I will make the weekend wrap up for you. Talk then.